Good morning, more like afternoon. I haven't been on social media for a long time, but I went on my social media binge procrastinating because I really don't want to do these burpees. Bunch of dog pads, I cut them up in half just so I could double up the amount of dog pads I had. But me talking right now is just me procrastinating the inedible. 100 burpees, about to bang them out.
Katrina loves being a stay-at-home mom, but it hasn't been easy during the COVID pandemic. Nathan's a truck mechanic.
I'm right here.
Biggest struggle is walking into work one day and being told that we're going to lay you off a little bit. Be working one day and the next day you're jobless.
We've actually had to choose between like rent and food before, because sometimes when rent comes out it gets very difficult that week and we're very short on money.
Then they went to a food distribution at Calvary Cumberland Presbyterian Church, which partners with Operation Blessing.
With Operation Blessing, us having to just drive down the road and get the food is absolutely a blessing to us. It's been amazing.
Food distribution, it helps out quite a bit. I don't have to worry about the wife and kids not eating.
Operation Blessing partners help this ministry in Mayfield, Kentucky feed hundreds of families every week.
The food distribution, they're really awesome. They're so sweet and they welcome you as soon as you pull in your car. They will open your trunk for you, put the food in there for you.
Everybody gets fed and bills still get paid.
It's a godsend. It takes a lot of load off of people who are absolutely struggling in their lives, and you don't know how hard it is and how thankful like I am that you do this for us, and I just want to thank you so much.
You know, it's not surprising when you see stories that we bring you from people who are living in third world countries where poverty is an everyday issue, to see that they have a deep need and to recognize that we can make a difference. But with this pandemic, the need has just become so great right here in the United States of America. And so what an opportunity we have to all come together and to be there for each other. You know, you never know when something like this is going to impact you, when it's your job that's going to be lost, when it's your home that's on the edge of being taken away from you, when you don't know whether there's food enough in the cupboard for your kids. You know, you and I can touch the lives of people in need, and when we do that, when it's our turn, somebody will be there for us. So let's do that together. When you join the 700 Club, 65 cents a day, $20 a month, you're joining with thousands of people who've made this possible here at home and around the world. And so today we come to you to say, in the midst of this pandemic, let's do this. Go to your phone and call. Our number's toll free. It's so simple. 1-800-700-7000. Just call. Say, I want to join the 700 Club. But there are many options you have to do that. For example, there's a general membership at the top of the list, but maybe you're already a 700 Club member. Why don't you go to the 700 Club Gold level at $40 a month, or become a 1,000 Club member, or a 2,500 Club member. Founders join us at $417 a month. That's $5,000 a year. You can make a huge difference when you call right now. You know what? We want to say thank you to you when you call to join the club or increase your membership by sending you Pat's new book, I Have Walked with the Living God. This is a remarkable account of all of the ways that God has faithfully met Pat at every turn in the road and given him wisdom, direction, guidance, favor. We want you to read this. Your own faith, I know, will be encouraged by it. And when you become a CBN partner, you'll also receive instant access to the audio version of I Have Walked with the Living God. That's read by actor Kevin Sorbo. You can listen at home or on the go on your computer, your phone, your smart TV, or your favorite device by using the CBN Family app. Activate your streaming link when you join as a CBN partner today, and all of this is yours. We say thank you in advance. Gordon?
Well, just imagine your daughter going blind in one eye, and she needs not one but 2 operations to restore her sight, and you have no money to pay for even one of the operations. Well, that's what a single mother in Honduras was facing. So what did she do? Well, we're about to find out.
One thing that 8-year-old Kimberly enjoyed was drawing and coloring. Then she began to notice that her right eye was getting blurry and irritated.
I've tried to see something in my eye that was making it hard to see.
Kimberly's mom, Carla, noticed that her daughter's right eye was also bloodshot.
It seemed like it might be conjunctivitis. I looked, but could not see any dirt in her eye.
The next day, she took Kimberly to the doctor.
The doctor told me she had a cataract that needed to be removed, and that it was a very expensive surgery.
Carla's husband abandoned the family 7 years ago. As a single mom, Carla wondered how she could raise enough money to pay for an operation.
My daughter said, "Mom, I want to have the surgery because I want to see." That made me cry because she is my daughter. I ask God with all my heart to heal her.
A few weeks after the first diagnosis, Kimberly woke up and discovered that she was now totally blind in her right eye. Her mom rushed her back to the eye clinic.
The doctor said now she had a cataract and a detached retina. He said she now needed 2 separate operations to restore her sight.
When Carla said she could not afford either surgery, the staff member referred her to Operation Blessing in Honduras.
When I heard that, I had faith that my daughter would see again. I know that God heard us and was opening a door for us.
Operation Blessing arranged for Kimberly to receive both eye surgeries for free. The first repaired the detached retina, and the second removed the cataract and replaced it with a new lens. A short time after the operations, we were there as the doctor removed the bandage. Kimberly told us that she could see again.
Now I can see again. I can play, run, I can do many things.
Operation Blessing is a place where they open doors to help people who really need it. I appreciate your help. You have no idea how much I thank you.
And that thank you goes to you if you're a member of the 700 Club. Imagine being part of that. Imagine being part of that blessing. We've got lots of operations in Operation Blessing, and we want to help people in need, people who can't afford surgeries. We want to be there for them, to give sight to the blind. What a perfect expression of what Jesus wants to do in the world today. You can be a part of it. How? Join the 700 Club. A portion of every gift to the 700 Club goes into the wonderful work of Operation Blessing, where you're feeding people right here in America. You're providing disaster relief whenever there's a hurricane, tornado. We want to be there for people in need. And you're also providing wonderful surgeries for people around the world. You can be a part of all of it by joining the 700 Club. How much is it? Well, it's just $20 a month. That's 65 cents a day. You can join 700 Club Gold. That's $40 a month. 1,000 Club is $1,000 a year. That's $84 a month. We also have 2,500 Club, which is $2,500, and then Founder, $5,000 or more a year at whatever level. Call us and say, yes, I want to be a part of it. 1-800-700-7000. When you join the 700 Club, we have a great gift for you. It's my father's new book called I Have Walked with a Living God.
50.
Here's a sample of what you'll find inside.
Hi, this is Pat Robertson with an excerpt from my new book, I Have Walked with a Living God, read by actor Kevin Sorbo. I hope it will be a blessing to you as you walk with God.
If anyone tells you that crucifixion,
52.
don't believe him. But for the new man to be born, the old man must die. If they attempt to live side by side, there will be constant warfare. In other words, there's no way that God Almighty will ultimately use somebody whose life is filled with pride and whose goal is material gain. For God to begin his work in me, something had to happen.
Get your copy today when you become a CBN partner. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com.
Hello, this is Pat Robertson. I've written a book called I Have Walked with the Living God. In its pages, I've shared many of the things God has spoken to me. At one time, the Lord told me, and I quote, "Do not fear the future, for I am the future."
Paul's dynamic latest book. You'll learn how to receive favor, wisdom, and discernment.
56.
To overcome obstacles and live a life that is exhilarating and full of promise.
I think this book can help you live that kind of a life.
Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to receive your copy today.
Still ahead,
The Bible and homosexuality go just fine together.
the lie that led to her lesbian lifestyle,
And I just sensed that there was something off about that.
and the voice of truth that set her straight.
That opened a door for me to enjoy being a woman.
Welcome back to Washington for this CBN News break. The Trump administration has finalized a rule that allows faith-based adoption agencies to receive federal funding regardless of their views on same-sex marriage. The new rule reverses the regulation from the Obama administration. The rule that Liberty Group Alliance Defending Freedom represented two faith-based adoption agencies in federal lawsuits over the issue. Senior counsel Zach Pruitt said the Department of Health and Human Services' final rule to end this discrimination offers hope to children and more options for birth mothers. LGBTQ advocates want the incoming administration to rescind the new rule. Well, turning now to the Holy Land, a church located along the banks of the Jordan River reopened Sunday for the first time in decades.
60.
It came only after a massive project to remove thousands of landmines left over from the Six-Day War. A small group of Catholic priests held Mass and celebrated the Feast of the Baptism of the Lord at St. John the Baptist Chapel. The bullet-riddled church hadn't held a service in 54 years due to the landmine danger. Well, you can always get the latest from CBN News by going to our website at cbnnews.com. Gordon and Terry will be back with more of the 700 Club right after this.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called the Continuous Glucose Monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free
70.
your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day and injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call now and learn how to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate co-pays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aid, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with a give-back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month.
I think I'm on 63.
Transportation, meals, and the give-back benefit. Look at our situation. I called to get
64.
everything I'm entitled to. I couldn't believe I was missing out on so many benefits.
With the uncertainty of the virus, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare coverage helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-256-3200. That's 1-800-256-3200 now.
Tomorrow, the grades are in for remote learning.
Our oldest went from the honor roll to F's and D's.
Students are being left behind.
Kids are just falling through the cracks.
Will schools reopen their classrooms in the age of COVID?
He's like, I hate this. I just want to go back to being in person.
And can students
70.
recover?
I gotta be
70.
next time around.
Tomorrow on the 700.
70.
And Paul once dreamed of finding a female, falling in love with her, and getting married. But Anne's dream was based on a lie. So how did she discover the truth? And how did the truth lead her to a life beyond her wildest dreams? We'll take a look. I felt uncomfortable in my own body. I felt unsafe. I felt responsible for what an older person did to me.
When she was just 3 years old, Ann Paulk was exposed to pornography and molested. In that moment, her sense of safety and self-identity
73
was destroyed.
I literally, overnight, dressed more like a tomboy. I was no longer interested in dolls. It was everything to do with throwing off the feminine because it was unsafe. When I was about 6 years old, a little girl made a pass at me, and then she kissed me. What I realized right then is I felt like I had power, as opposed to being powerless in the other circumstance. And that ignited lesbian desire later on in life. That was really the starting point of that turning of my feelings.
Raised in a Christian home, Ann suppressed her same-sex feelings through high school. But that changed when she went to college.
I found myself quickly getting involved in alcohol and drugs on campus. They were everywhere. And that also gave me room to explore my sexual desires. I started going to a college campus advisor, a peer-related person who said, it's no problem, the Bible and homosexuality go just fine together. And I just sensed that there was something off about that, even though I didn't really know God. I knew of him, but I didn't know him personally.
Desperate for love and community, Ann attended gay support groups on campus.
80.
But one night during a meeting, she heard from the Holy Spirit.
It felt like a ray of light from heaven hit me right in the middle of this gay meeting. That the love that you're seeking, you're not going to find here. And I thought, oh no, because I had banked all my hopes on that I would find a female partner and we'd get married or have a relationship like that and live the rest of our lives together. I knew that voice was telling me the truth. And so I was very destroyed. I felt so sad. I ran off and asked God who he really was. I'd said, if you are the Christian God, which I hope you're not, here are the things I need to see happen. Boom, 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 boom. And he answered all of them. I didn't tell anyone else that. I didn't give anybody else a chance to fulfill them. And God came through. In 2 weeks, I began to be surrounded by Christians who actually knew him. And those led to conversations where he became really apparent.
She began attending Bible studies on campus. One night, she said she had an amazing encounter with the Jesus she'd always knew about, but never known.
But last night we were praying, everybody with their heads bowed and praying, and just pretending, okay, this is what you do, you put your hands together, you bow your head. And a person was in that room, a person who was full of grace and kindness and full of authority. And he just revealed himself to me that he was in the room weaving in and out amongst the prayers of the saints. But around me there was such a gap, there was a hole, it was void.
10 more.
And I knew that night, I told the pastor afterwards, I said, I have to have the person who was in that room in my life. I would give anything to have that person in my life. And that night I accepted Jesus to be my Lord and Savior, and literally felt like God had filled me, energized me, filled me up with joy in a way that was hard to describe.
At first, Ann's new faith in Jesus gave her a freedom from same-sex attraction. But 4 years after becoming a Christian, she fell back into a lesbian relationship. Broken and desperate for change, she reached out to a ministry in California that ministers to the sexually broken.
It gave me an example of people who are actually walking out faithfulness to Jesus with same-sex attraction. It gave some examples of really far down the line of some people who were now married to people of the opposite sex who had kids and were thriving in that relationship. They were no longer daily and moment by moment dealing with same-sex attraction the way I was. And so it kind of gave me a long view of what could be and what was other people. And that was really helpful and very encouraging to me.
Ann found the keys that set her free from same-sex attraction. Soon she felt safe as a woman again, as the love of Jesus filled her need for intimacy.
What was surprising to me is within 5 years of working on issues in my life, of forgiving people, particularly the fellow who molested me when I was younger, that opened a door for me to enjoy being a woman, and enjoying being a woman and really thriving in it with my relationships with other women kind of began to fill up my cup. And then
100.
that men are different. That eventually, this pathway led to me getting married. I never would have guessed that. And then having 3 children, I was given a bounty of beauty in place of my struggles by the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And he walked me through that step so that I could become more the woman he always intended me to be.
Today, Ann champions healing from same-sex attraction as the director of the Restored Hope Network.
I am so grateful that the Lord raised me up to be a leader in this movement of helping people leave homosexuality. That is joy.
So now I got my burpees done. Wow, that took a while. I got my burpees done. Spitting sweat. I don't really got nothing else to procrastinate. I got a few more things to do today.
You could say is to come through it all, and that's what we are.
That was exhausting.
To be loved, to be able to love.
God goes greatness. Stay focused and get your tasks done.
From someone else.